Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness reunite as Blade finds himself on a new world where the Avengers and many other heroes don't exist, but the Squadron Supreme of America exists, and they are the top heroes of the world, all backed by the new president, Phil Coulson. Jason Aaron hits the ground running in Marvel's Mega Summer event as we are thrust into this warped world along with Blade, who is left to determine what exactly is going on. I quite enjoy that we don't know more than what Blade knows about the world and getting information as he gets it, meaning we get to actually explore this world and have it expand in front of us as we are reading. After Blade was an integral part of the Avengers' recent arcs and the last issue of the Avengers ending with a big change for him, I'm really happy that Jason is giving him the chance to headline such a huge event and be the central focus of it. Getting to explore this strange new world is pretty fantastic as well, and I'm a sucker for alternate realities where one thing is changed and that one thing changes so much about the world. So what Aaron explored this issue with the Squadron taking over and things like Red Skull Venoms and Silver Witches was loads of fun. Ed McGuinness returns to the Avengers in a huge and exciting way, with page after page of awesome, clean and bold looking action artwork, with some really fun new designs for villains and heroes alike, such as Dr. Juggernaut and Silver Witch, all who I appreciate are very super simple designs that easily convey the changes and mashups they are representing. Heroes Reborn issue 1 was a great opening act to Marvel's summer event, putting us in the shoes of Blade as the hero tries to determine what the hell has happened to his reality while dealing with all the fun and action around him. I thoroughly enjoyed Blade getting a chance to be the main character of such a big event, and I'm looking forward to following his journey throughout this world and event. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10. Heroes Reborn issue 1 heads to East LA, where Robbie Reyes races down the street on his bike, knowing that he's going to be late again as Blade remembers waking up covered in blood in London, not knowing how he actually got there. He remembers calling Avengers Mountain for a teleport home, but no one answered because the mountain isn't there. The hooded Blade stops Robbie, asking about the Ghost Rider, but Robbie has no idea what he means, knowing it's probably some type of drug, wanting the hooded man to get to a treatment program, as Blade says that when he woke up the world was changed and the Avengers never existed, and he's been searching for someone who can convince him that he's not crazy. As Robbie takes off, Blade knows that he's a vampire hunter who hasn't solved a vampire in weeks, and that scares him the most, since in a world without the Avengers, it's a better world than he knows. Days later, Dr. Doom attacks the White House, invading the country using the Crimson Gem of Sidorak to become Dr. Juggernaut, who smashes through the Secret Service to continue his invasion of America. Blade knows that while no vampires exist, the world isn't all good, with people still starving and there's TV preachers on air and crooked politicians, but there is also something else in the form of other mighty heroes as Hyperion attacks Dr. Juggernaut, ripping into the villain and trying to dislodge the gem. Doom says he'll reforge America into his own country, and Hyperion knows the attack is thanks to the Squadron making sure Latveria had fair elections, and Doom's actions here show that he lost them. Doom knows that the hero's strength won't save him from the wrath of Doom, as he grabs Hyperion's neck, but the hero super flexes his muscles and frees himself, saying Doom's fascism will never be as strong as good old-fashioned liberty. He blasts the villain with his heat vision, leaving Doom to say there is no truth or justice in this and it's nothing but a lie, as Nighthawk meanwhile battles symbiotes at the Capitol, reassuring Hyperion Doom also freed the Masters of Doom when he escaped the negative zone. Entering the building, Nighthawk confronts Black Skull and his men as the villain says the United States House of Swine is in session, and he can start his screaming now. Blade meanwhile knows that no one in this world knows who Stephen Strange is, or that Jennifer Walters was She-Hulk, as she runs a successful law firm in LA and isn't the hero, and Bruce Banner was exiled years ago after his first Hulk-out rampage, banished by Hyperion to the negative zone. Dr. Spectrum meanwhile races to the battle from the Pentagon, but tracks something roaring past Mars towards them, diverting his path towards the object. Spectrum takes off as Air Force pilot Carol Danvers watches Spectrum in awe, told to get back in line by her superior. On the ground, Tony Stark, who never took shrapnel to his heart, knows cosmic super soldiers don't just do it for him, but guided missiles on the other hand do. Blade watches Tony from the trees nearby as his meeting with the Joint Chiefs at the Pentagon is delayed, making the man wonder where the nearest bar is. Blade figures that both the Spirit of Vengeance and the Starbrand were also banished to the negative zone, and Wakanda is just a myth now, along with the power of the Iron Fist never leaving Kunlun. He knows that there is one important thing that hasn't changed as he finds a memorial to Captain America, knowing thanks to the Squadron being there and the Avengers not, ripples were sent out around the globe, and without the Avengers, people like Wanda Maximoff and her brother Pietro Maximoff were still villains, and not reformed, and when Pedro was killed battling the Squadron, Wanda used her chaos magic to absorb his powers and become the Silver Witch, who currently fights Blur through the streets of Washington, seeking revenge for her brother's death. At the Lincoln Memorial, Power Princess battles the unstoppable Olgog, who smashes the princess with his sword, but the woman easily blocks it, excited with the blood-drenched evening she's having. Spectrum meanwhile confronts the Force speeding through space towards Earth, stopping the giant fist as more multicolored fists assault the hero. Spectrum knows that it can't be who it is, since he saw him die and the stones turn to dust, but the being is outraged they speak to him about death, knowing Spectrum is scared of it as Thanos reveals himself along with his Infinity Rings. Blade meanwhile knows that a good monster is at work in this world, so when push comes to shove, he wants a god on his side, as days earlier in Norway, Blade meets with Thor, knowing the man won't know who he is, but knows that this is the bar Thor brought him to when he first became an Avenger, and Thor talked about his father and how he sent him to Earth one time to learn humility, and judging from the drunken stupor Thor is in at the moment, Blade knows that he never actually found his hammer again. Thor knows that his father is dead, wanting to be left alone, and he's not the Avenger Blade seeks. There is a boom outside and Blade knows that that's the sound of the thunder Thor is making, telling him to stop drinking and remember. Thor angrily demands Blade leave him alone, vomiting all over himself, as Blade wonders why he's the only one who remembers how the world was meant to be, leaving and thinking maybe he should be like the god of winos there and drink and forget, but for a vampire to get drunk, there needs to be a lot of blood. In the present, Nighthawk fights Black Skull's men, turning off his comms when the White House tries to determine if Black Skull has taken Congress hostage. Blade appears, battling the men with the hero as he asks Nighthawk if he knows who he is and why he is there. Nighthawk tells Blade to go back to London and to eat his rats and magpies, surprising Blade since someone knows who he is. Nighthawk says that he knows every cutthroat in every corner of the globe, since he's the face they see in the dark when their fear won't let them sleep. He wonders if the night has finally come for the Daywalker, and they both team up to kill Skull's men. Blade says that while they can change the world all they like, he knows no world exists where Nighthawk can lay a hand on him without losing it. Nighthawk wants to feed him his own sword, but he doesn't have the time right now since he's busy saving the world. Blade says that he is as well, revealing that he's been searching for proof that he isn't insane and he needed to see in someone's eyes, someone who also knows the world is a big lie, and now he has in that of Nighthawk. The White House meanwhile overrides the comms and tells Nighthawk to save the Congress in descending order according to their fundraising. Nighthawk says damn the president, since he's Nighthawk of the Squadron Supreme and he's been saving the world for a very long time. Hyperion meanwhile continues battling Dr. Juggernaut as out in front of the White House, President Coulson is impressed with his Squadron Supreme, asking if his security has seen anything as beautiful as this. Nighthawk meanwhile sets up his surveillance to find Blade as the hero meanwhile heads to the Arctic, having gotten the coordinates from the Pentagon. He jumps down the crevice upon smelling human blood as Thor meanwhile smashes his mead cup on the bar table, demanding more of the drink as lightning shoots from it, turning it into Mjolnir, shocking the Asgardian, while Blade finds the still frozen body of Captain America, wishing to assemble the Avengers once more.